We've been on the road for about 4 weeks now. We made our way to Austin, Texas for the South by Southwest Festival. Played 4 shows down there. We picked up our friend Brian Paxton, who we kind of known along the way. He's filled in for a few shows. He played majority of all of our South by Southwest shows. He filled in because we had to drop Chris Green off at the airport. He needed to fly back home and finish a few things. Brian is a really talented individual. He did a really great job, had a lot of fun down there, and we were glad to have him. And what's even better is he has a really giant beard. It was pretty wild because me and Eric were kind of walking by this venue and we looked inside and we're like, holy cow, that's Tom Morello. So we kind of stood by the doorway and, you know, trying to get a good view, and then all of a sudden he grabbed his acoustic guitar and just hit it outside. And there he found a plastic table. He stood up on top of it, and probably about 4,000 people gathered around and started rocking out. Oh, it was amazing. It was one of probably my best experiences down in Austin. Jack White, we seen him as we were walking by. He was right on 6th Street at this little bar. We got to see the Heebie-Jeebies. We seen them last year. They were phenomenal, one of my favorites from last year. We got to see Show Baby. We also got to see the Lindsay O'Brien Band. Alan Stone was an artist down in South by Southwest that's from Seattle that we like a lot, and we went down there and seen him play. And we also got to see Carson and Tess Henley. They're another band from Seattle. One of the highlights for me of all the artists we got to see in Austin was Candlebox. To be able to go out and rock out and see those guys play, and we personally know Scott, he invited us out, and to see them put on a really good live energetic show was phenomenal. So we left Austin to head down towards Dallas. There we played Hat Tricks, which is a really neat little venue outside of Dallas. I was sitting outside and the guys were up there on stage, and then all of a sudden a little altercation took place right inside the bar, and next thing I know, a guy goes flying off the thing and he hits his head on a one of those punching machines, and it hit 1,000 points. And then he got carted off in an ambulance. That's not something that would normally happen there. It was totally out of the blue, but we did see it firsthand. I guess it's welcome to Texas. Traveling through some part of New Mexico, and it was kind of like the Badlands, just bare, flat. So Joe picked up the map and started doing some navigation, and he picked us a route to go, and it kind of sent us over this crazy, just rocky embankments and cliffs all over the place. And was that the Rocky Mountains? Sheesh. And then from there we kind of found our way into Taos. KTOW, it's a radio station, 101.9. It's a all solar power energy place. Played a radio show in the afternoon, and then later that night played a really awesome rock show for the community of Taos. So some of our Pueblo friends were kind of mentioning a place outside of Taos, which is the Gorge, which is where the Rio Grande River runs through. They had a bunch of artsy stuff, and this lady kind of picked out this little bracelet. It's a native thing. It's good energy, so I felt great before I bought the bracelet, but I feel even better now that I have it. So after spending the night in Flagstaff, we woke up and we set out to go to the Grand Canyon. As we were driving, we saw a really neat little spot that we pulled over, plus we had to use the restroom. It was a cattle ramp, very old, looked like it hadn't been used for many years. So we thought we'd put it to good use. It's not every day that you get to run through a cattle ramp. one time from an old stranger. Boy, when you see a cattle chute, get inside it and go for it. We were pleasantly surprised by all the landscape that we noticed in northern Arizona, heading up towards the Grand Canyon. One of the most enjoyable spots of the trip so far, scenery-wise. We spent 3 days camping in the Grand Canyon National Park. We got our camp set up, kind of relaxed the first night. And then we decided we were gonna hike down the Grand Canyon. So it was about a 5-mile trip. It was 2,200 vertical feet down, which was pretty fun. We found like a natural spring, kind of hung out for a little bit, and then realized it was 2,200 feet back up. I didn't bring one single thing of water. The elevation, the heat's a little bit of a factor. It's the Grand Canyon. It was wild hiking for sure. And we headed back to the campsite, prepared some food, and started relaxing. And we had a few drinks getting passed around. And then we got to meet some of our camping buddies across the way. They brought some instruments, and we started just jamming out around the fire. We probably had a group of 7, 8 strangers over there just hanging out and enjoying the outdoors. So the next morning we broke down camp, getting ready to head to Apache Junction to see Cody's uncle, Kim. If you've never met Kim, the guy is young at heart. So he decided to take us out on the boat, which it was probably 85 degrees out. Did a little cliff jumping. I also, thought it would be fun to, jump out of a boat going 35 miles an hour. Tried that a few times. The water was perfect. Probably about, I can really tell you, but it was warm. So when we got back to Kim's place, he had prepared us a really nice meal. Barbecued some steaks and had some shrimp, really nice salad, and we all just kind of relaxed. So over the past week, we've had a little time off, so we've decided to do as much camping and being outside as we could. So now we're back at it. We're on the road. By the way, it's 12:47. And the date is Wednesday.